Section 23, Demolition, Renovation, and Reoccupancy. Demolition, Renovation, and Reoccupancy. The references for this section are EM 385, TAC 1, TAC 1, Section 23, 29 CFR 1926.850, Subpart T, UFGS 013526, latest edition, and various accident abstracts. Potential contractor mishap outcomes during demolition operations could include fires, explosions, electrical shock, structural collapse, lead, asbestos, PCB, arsenic exposure, all of these leading to property damage, injury, and death. Direct causes of demolition mishaps could include no engineering survey performed by a registered professional engineer, no demolition plan prepared or reviewed by a registered professional engineer, improper storage, use, disposal of flammable and combustible materials, scraps, etc. Inadequate type, number, and location of fire extinguishers, welding and cutting near flammables and combustibles. Indirect causes of demolition mishaps could include accepted demolition or renovation plan not implemented, lack of training, supervision, or implementation of standard operating procedures, failure to apply activity hazard analysis or operational risk management, inadequate site-specific safety training prior to the phase of the work being conducted, regular site safety inspections not being performed, fire extinguishers or other fire protection devices not provided. Some definitions related to demolition. The process of demolishing or renovating a structure can be completed in several ways. The terms renovation, structural demolition, soft demolition, and mechanical demolition should be understood within the context of this section. Renovation, the process of remodeling or upgrading an existing structure. This process includes the selective interior demolition and possibly some exterior demolition of a structure as the first step before renovation begins. Structural demolition, the complete removal of a structure that is not occupied. Structures may include buildings, chimneys, towers, foundations, utilities, bridges, or similar items. Soft demolition, removal of parts or systems of a structure which may include the following: removal of doors, windows, lay-in ceiling tiles, fixtures, interior equipment, lighting, HVAC system components, floor coverings, support systems, and other items deemed appropriate by the state in which the demolition permit is granted. Soft demolition does not include the facility enclosure, curtain walls, roof, slab, or the structural frame. Mechanical demolition, removal of structure involving the use of one or more pieces of heavy machinery to include hydraulic excavators with various attachments, front-end loaders, tracked or rubber-tired, cranes, bulldozers, etc. Demolition activities shall be performed in accordance with ANSI Standard A 10.6, Safety Requirements for Demolition. Demolition Survey. Prior to initiating demolition activities, the following survey and plan shall be accomplished. See lead and asbestos requirements in section 06.B.05. Demolition Survey. An engineering survey by a registered professional engineer shall be performed of the structure to determine the structure layout, the condition of the framing, floors, walls, the possibility of unplanned collapse of any portion of the structure, Any adjacent structure where employees or property may be exposed shall be similarly checked, and the existence of other potential or real demolition hazards. The engineering survey is not required for soft demolition or renovation activities as long as no load-bearing structure will be removed or demolished. Demolition or renovation plan, developed by a registered professional engineer and shall be submitted to the government designated authority. This plan shall be based on the engineering, lead, and asbestos surveys for the safe dismantling and removal of all building components and debris. This plan is required for all demolition and renovation activities. At a minimum, it shall include the schedule, the scope of work being accomplished, description of work methods, equipment, job site, and key personnel, site preparation, waste management plan, asbestos-containing materials, ACM, other regulated materials, ORM, abatement plan, site restoration plan, other requirements specified in a statement of work or as directed by the contracting officer. Surveys. The government designated authority and the contractor's designated authority shall be provided written evidence that surveys have been performed and shall be provided copies of the demolition plan. Employee training. All employees engaged in demolition and/or renovation activities shall be instructed in the plan so that they can conduct their work activities in a safe manner. Pre-demolition activities. Electric, gas, water, steam, sewer, and other service lines affected as a result of the project work shall be shut off, capped, or otherwise controlled inside and outside the building line before demolition is started. Any utility company that is involved shall be notified in advance. The contractor shall provide the GDA and the contractor's designated authority with an engineering drawing that indicates the location of all service lines and the means for their control. If it is necessary to maintain any power, water, or other utilities during renovation, such lines shall be temporarily relocated and protected. It shall be the responsibility of the facility owner to identify and field verify the point or points of disconnection and de-energizing electrical components and electrical service lines. The contractor must confirm that the disconnection or de-energizing has been performed prior to the start of the demolition process. De-energizing electrical service shall be secured via a lockout method and field verified by the contractor. If the project includes the abandonment or demolition of existing gas lines, ensure that the existing lines are accurately located and that the procedures and installations for removal or replacement are accomplished in accordance with the applicable sections of 29 CFR 1926.850. If the project includes fire suppression systems, the owner shall provide the GDA confirmation or verification that the chemical fire suppression system has been deactivated and that the chemical has been removed from the system prior to the start of renovation or demolition process. If the chemical fire suppression system is found to be active after demolition has begun, the contractor shall immediately cease work and notify the government designated authority. The contractor shall take no action to abate or remove the chemical fire suppression system or components. It shall be determined if any hazardous building materials, hazardous chemicals, gases, explosives, flammable materials, or dangerous substances have been used in any building construction, pipes, tanks, or other equipment on the property. When such hazards are identified, testing shall be conducted to determine the type and concentration of the hazardous substances, and the test results shall be provided to the GDA and the contractor's designated authority. Such hazards shall be controlled or eliminated before demolition is started. If hazardous materials or hazmat are found on the project site or location after demolition has begun, the contractor shall immediately cease work and notify the government designated authority. The contractor shall take no action to abate or remove the hazmat without the government designated authority's approval. All ACM and ORMs shall be removed from structures in accordance with all federal and state laws before renovation or demolition begins. ACM or ORM shall be taken to a controlled landfill or other licensed disposal facility. C and D shall be taken to a general waste landfill, and recyclable materials shall be taken to a recycle yard or retained by the government. When employees work within a structure to be demolished that has been damaged by fire, flood, explosion, or other cause, the walls or floor shall be shored or braced in accordance with the engineering survey and work progression. Except for cutting holes in floors for chutes, holes through which to drop materials, preparation of storage spaces, and similar preparatory work, demolition of floors and exterior walls shall begin at the top of the structure and proceed downward. Each story of exterior wall and floor construction shall be removed and dropped into the storage space before commencing the removal of exterior walls and floors on the next story below. Potential hazards due to the fragmentation of glass shall be considered and controlled for all persons inside and outside the demolition site. Mechanical equipment shall not be used on floors or working surfaces unless such floors or surfaces are sufficient strength to support the imposed load. Employee protection. Employee entrances to multi-story structures being demolished shall be protected by sidewalk sheds, canopies, or both. Protection shall be provided from the face of the building for a minimum of 8 feet. All such canopies shall be at least 2 feet wider than the building entrances or openings and shall be capable of sustaining a load of 150 pounds per square foot. Only those stairways, passageways, and ladders designated as a means of access to the structure shall be used. They shall be indicated on the demolition plan. Stairwells shall be covered to protect workers from fall debris at a point no less than 2 floors below the floor on which work is being performed. Access to a floor where work is in progress shall be through a separate, lighted, protected passageway. Work progression. During demolition, continuing inspections by the competent person shall detect hazards resulting from weakened or deteriorated floors, walls, or loosened material. No employee shall be permitted to work where such hazards exist until they are corrected by shoring, bracing, or other means. The frequency of inspection shall be identified in the blasting or renovation plan. Walls or sections of masonry shall not be permitted to fall upon floors of the building in such masses as to exceed the safe carrying capacity of the floor. Any chute opening into which debris is dumped shall be protected by a guardrail 42 inches above the floor or other surface on which personnel stand to dump the material. Any space between the chute and edge openings in the floor through which it passes shall be covered. When debris is dropped through openings without chutes, the openings and the area onto which the material is dropped shall be enclosed with barricades not less than 42 inches high and not less than 6 feet from the protected edge of the opening above. Signs warning of falling material shall be posted on each floor. Debris removal shall not be permitted in lower areas until debris handling ceases on the floors above. All material chutes or sections thereof at an angle of more than 45 degrees from the horizontal shall be enclosed, except for openings equipped with closures at or about the floor level for the insertion of materials. Openings shall not exceed 48 inches in height measured along the wall of the chute. Openings shall be kept closed at all floors below the top floor when not in use. A substantial gate shall be installed at each chute at or near the discharge end. A competent employee shall be assigned to control operations of the gate and the backing and loading of trucks. When operations are not in progress, the area surrounding the discharge end of the chute shall be closed. Where material is dumped from mechanical equipment or wheelbarrows, a tow board or bumper not less than 4 inches thick and 6 inches high shall be attached to each chute opening. Chutes shall be designed and constructed of such strength as to eliminate failure due to impact of materials or debris loaded therein. The storage of waste and debris on any floor shall not exceed the allowable floor loads. In buildings having wood floor construction, the floor joists may be removed from not more than 1 floor above grade to provide storage space for debris, providing falling material is not permitted to endanger the stability of the structure. Storage space shall be blocked off, except for openings for the removal of materials. Such openings shall be kept closed when material is not being removed. Floor openings shall have curbs or stop logs to prevent equipment from running over the edge. Any opening cut in a floor shall not be larger in size than 25% of the total floor area, unless lateral supports of the removed floor remain in place. Debris generated by demolition or contained within the facility or found within the defined work perimeter of the facility or project shall be removed from the site as waste material, to include ACM and ORM. Debris shall be separated according to type of disposal that is required. The disposal site shall be approved by the GDA prior to the notice to proceed. Contractor shall provide the GDA documentation that confirms the disposal location, the type of debris, and the quantities of each type. Wall removal. Masonry walls shall not be permitted to fall upon the floors of buildings as to exceed the safe carrying capacities. No wall section greater than 6 feet in height shall be permitted to stand without lateral bracing. Exception: for wall sections that are designed and constructed to stand without lateral support, an exception may be allowed. Employees shall not be permitted to work on walls when weather is a hazard. Floor openings within 10 feet of any wall being demolished shall be planked solid, except when employees are kept out of the area below. In buildings of skeleton steel construction, the steel framing may be left in place. During the demolition of masonry, all steel beams, girders, and structural supports shall be cleared of all loose material. Masonry demolition progresses downward. Walls that serve as retaining walls to support earth or adjoining structures shall not be demolished until such earth has been braced or adjoining structures have been underpinned. Walls shall not be used to retain debris unless capable of safely supporting the imposed load. Floor removal. Before demolishing any floor, debris and other material shall be removed from the immediate work location and other adjacent floor areas. Safety walkways, not less than 18 inches wide, shall be provided and used by personnel when necessary to enable them to reach any point without walking upon exposed beams. When floors are being removed, employees shall not be allowed in the area directly underneath. The area shall be barricaded and signed to warn of the hazard. Steel removal. When a floor or any portion of the floor has been removed, planking shall be provided for the workers raising or dismantling the steel framing. Steel construction shall be dismantled column by column and tier by tier. Columns may be 2 stories lengths. Any structural member being dismembered shall not be over. Structural demolition. Removal of a facility may include the structure as well as any related appurtenances. Fences, parking areas, and associated lights, roadways, and access from roadways, sidewalks, and stairs associated with access, pads, patios, and paved laydown areas, utilities, underground storage tanks, above-ground storage tanks, poles, interior and exterior equipment associated with the facility, interior and exterior equipment within the designed perimeter of the facility. All operations involving the use of load handling equipment shall meet Section 16 to include certificate of compliance, documented personnel qualifications, operators, riggers, signal persons, etc., load handling inspections, operational and load tests and certifications, and standard lift plan. If the manufacturer of the equipment does not allow the equipment to be utilized as planned, you are prohibited from performing this function. No personnel shall be working within the structure once the structural demolition process has begun. Before structural demolition can begin, abatement of ACM and ORM shall be done. Structural demolition may include any or all of these features prior to demolition: removal of universal waste prior to the start of facility removal, partial demolition to expose the structure frame, soft demolition. Mechanical demolition. All motorized equipment used on a project shall meet requirements of EM 385, TAC 1, TAC 1, as well as applicable OSHA requirements. In addition, see the National Demolition Association's Demolition Safety Manual, Chapter 7. No person shall be permitted in any area that can be affected by demolition when mechanical demolition is being performed. Only those persons necessary for the operations shall be permitted in the area. Dust abatement measures will be used to suppress dust during demolition. Operators are required to wear respirators, per Section 5. A demolition ball may be used only if it has been approved by the government designated authority. If the use of a demolition ball is approved, weight of the demolition ball shall not exceed 50% of the crane's rated load based on length of the boom and maximum angle of operation at which the demolition ball will be used. Or, it shall not exceed 25% of the nominal breaking strength of the line which it is suspended from. The crane boom and load line shall be as short as possible. The ball shall be attached to the load line with a swivel connection and be attached by positive means so that the weight cannot accidentally disconnect. Continued ongoing inspections by the competent person shall be made as the demolition work progresses to detect hazards resulting from weakened or deteriorated floors or walls or loosened materials. No employee shall be permitted to work where such hazards exist until they are corrected by shoring, bracing, or other effective means.